those of you that are part of the Rise and Shine practice, who are part of the Overflow practice, you want to take a moment to notice how was your quality of care for yourself as you were taking that action you've been avoiding. Take a moment and just revisit that before you begin this next interval this morning. How was your quality of care? And let's go ahead and begin our time together this morning in the same way that we are invited to begin all of our moments of conscious awareness. And that's to first pause and take a moment to notice how we are connected to and supported by the place where we are seated. Take a moment to notice how your body is held by your seat. And as you're noticing how your body is held by your seat, take a moment to recognize which part of your body feels the most held. You want to draw that onto your body diagram and then also write it in your journal. And we're saying, here is where I am already supported, right where I am seated. Here is where I am already supported, right where I am seated. And we're just giving that more space and time for our body to rest down into that support. The further you rest down into it, the more you're able to feel, what does that quality of support feel like? What stands out for you? What's being offered to you? And we're saying this quality of experience belongs to me. This quality of support belongs to me. And you want to take a moment, you're going to turn side to side. And as you're turning and rotating, you're letting more of that capacity in, more of that quality of support in. And as you are taking that in, we want to then notice, what is the challenge that you are facing into today? And how do you feel that come alive within your system? Where do you feel that challenge happen within your body? And so we're saying this challenge, it belongs to me. And we're really being invited to look at what is my quality or my tone of care that I am bringing to this challenge. What is my tone of care that I'm bringing to this challenge today? Take a moment and notice that. And then we want to take a moment to see, how do I see myself facing into this challenge today? What do I see myself doing or thinking about? And how do I speak about this challenge? and my impulse to behave as I'm facing into this challenge. And what are the emotions and the sensations that come up as you're facing into this challenge? And how does my breathing respond to this challenge? And in the past, when I have faced into a challenge like this, what was the outcome? And this present challenge makes me think my future is going to be what? What do you think is going to unfold in the future because this is present? And you want to make as much room as you can in your system and in your experience for the full aliveness, the full embodiment of this challenge. So see if you can feel drawn to move in a way that makes more space for this aliveness to be held really, really gently. We're being invited to notice our tone of care, our tone of connecting. Then we want to take a moment to turn to our Creator, and we're saying, this is how my mind is seeing this, and this is what I hear my brain thinking about this quality of challenge that's alive for me today. And then I speak about today's challenge like I'm sharing that with my Creator. This is what I keep finding myself sane or not sane. And then my impulse to behave as I face into these challenges. And then you want to notice these are the emotions and the sensations that come up as I'm facing into this challenge today. You want to notice how your breathing responds to this challenge as you face into it. And we're communicating that to our creator. And in the past, when you have faced into a challenge like this, notice all those ages and stages of yourself, and notice how does the heart of your creator embrace you. And then this present challenge makes me think, what is going to happen in the future? And then you're asking your creator, show me exactly what to do today to walk in this grace, in this peace as I respond to these challenges. So notice what stands out for you all. And can you see the action that you're being invited to take today, but the quality of care that you're being invited to bring to that action?
So my process this morning has to do with digesting what happened yesterday. And so I'm not sure yet in what way my day will unfold so I can actually process what happened. But one thing is clear, I'm definitely asked to slow down. Every time I think I've really, really slowed down, I'm asked to slow down even more. And it's interesting because for me, the theme is communication with another being. And there is less and less that can be verbally communicated. And I'm facing, I used to be a lot of sorrow and sadness, and it still is. And then love is always there. But right in there also is frustration and sometimes like a little boredom because I run out of what I could do, and then I'm forced to just sit and wait. And it can be pretty agonizing because I realize that I have all these tools that served me in the past, but very little of those, very few of those serve me now. And so it's it's difficult, but it has been difficult. And now there is a different kind of difficult, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so even this morning, my pace is much slower. I haven't been able to really, I have to go back to the different lines to make sure that I'm not being sloppy or that my brain doesn't jump in and quote unquote makes something up that I'm not really hearing from my creator.
Notice what are the parts, like when you look at the emotional sensory core, what you went through, what are the parts that stood out easily?
It was the ones that stood out. Well, there's always love, And then this morning, and that's kind of new, there's frustration, slight boredom, just followed by guilt. And I think it's the first time that I'm actually able to look at that, because in the past it's just not okay to feel those, was my reaction.
Mm-hmm. So those are enough. And what the divine gave you that stood out easily? Slow. And is there anything else that stood out?
Gentleness.
So that's enough. That's it.
Yeah.
Like when we're going through a big shift or taking in something and digesting something that's big, you don't have to have the whole thing. You just have to have that. So it's like the slowness and the gentleness is enough. And notice how in some instances yesterday you were able to use that.
Slowness and gentleness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So notice where that's already working.
You talking about the situation or in my body?
Well, it's both.
Okay. Right.
So see, feel where.
Yeah.
The brain wants to do it the brain's way, and Christ is giving us a different way. What are you doing, Mason?
Yeah.
And so notice how that gentleness and slowness is enough for all of it. It's enough for the frustration. It's enough for the guilt. And I can't remember what the other one is that you had, but
Boredom.
right. So when you're offering the slowness to the boredom and the slowness to the frustration and the slowness to the guilt and the gentleness to that, notice what begins to happen. How does your system respond? How does the boredom respond?
There's a sense of relief.
Right. Because the boredom and the frustration
And the guilt.
and the guilt are met. They're not meant to be anything else. They're meant to be them.
Yeah.
And so you're slowing down enough where you can actually feel and see them, which is exactly what we're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about, our cognition wants to make some change or make it different than it is. And really all it is the boredom and the slowness and the guilt coming home to be held, and that they are an appropriate part of what you're navigating right now. And that circumstance is happening to bring these experiences up so they can be met. You're doing it right. But our brain wants to say, I just want to feel good. This doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel comfortable, so I don't want to do it, or I'm doing something wrong. And that's not the point. The point is being with what comes up. And can I be gentle with what comes up and let the Holy Spirit give me what is the medicine, that boredom and guilt and frustration, what is the medicine for them? And what you're getting right now is the first medicine is just slowness.
Mm-hmm.
And gentleness for boredom and guilt. Well, the brain doesn't like that answer, but your body responds immediately to that answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's not a contrived, because the brain doesn't want to contrive anything. The brain wants to get out of this exercise. Right?
Yeah.
The brain's
Yeah.
like, I don't care about this exercise. And even in that, we say yes, and I'm going to let that not caring also gets to receive this, whatever the divine is giving me, whatever that is. And again, this is the biggest blind spot, because what we want is to make everything look the way we think we should look and feel the way we think it should feel.
Yeah.
So when you feel the relief happening, notice where that relief happens in your body and in your mind, or both.
I mean, I feel it immediately in my body, and I get this image of my brain looking like surprised and like, huh? What's happening here? It's very strange.
Right.
My brain is very puzzled right now.
Right. And the puzzling of your brain gets to be held, because your brain is the caboose. It's going to be the last one to pull into that station. It's not the first one.
Yeah.
But it pulls into a body that feels relief in that circumstance that you're in right now. And it's not contrived. It's not like we're doing some kind of thing to make relief happen. Even relief is the gift that God is giving you. That's the gift God's giving you and waiting for you. You didn't sit down this morning and say, I need some relief from this. Like, that's not even, it's not even like, it's all a gift, and we can't make it happen. And the brain is going to be the thing that we're trying to be the most kind to, as it is rewiring itself and helping us to see this from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy, but the relief and the care and the gentleness is real, and it's waiting for all of us for every single circumstance that we're in. And there's nothing that we can do other than receive it to make it any more than that, or make it any better, or do it better than anybody else. It's like, it's a gift, and we're either going to sit down and we're going to receive it, or we're not. But that's just for us. As soon as you see it, as soon as you take it in, your body responds to it immediately, and your brain will always be last.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
So notice, y'all, like, even as you revisit your own, how you are held by the place that you are seated, notice how it changes as we're just sitting here, slowing down our own experience and taking in a little bit of somebody else's experience. We can share, whoever would like to share next. We have some time still. We're sharing about our own experience. We're not sharing about how somebody else's experience impacted you. You're just staying with your own.
So my support today was feeling like I had a soft blanket around me, and the qualities were warmth and nurturing. And as I was finishing up the the pieces of the puzzle here, I was given an image of a flat tire, and I was trying to do life with a flat tire. And the air that I needed, I was thinking I had to do it myself. In other words, in the old days, somebody used to pump the gas for us when we went to the pumps. And then we were able to pump it ourselves. And I think I've got, I use that analogy because I've been pumping my own gas. And I could have driven up to the service station and had the the attendant, in this case Christ, supply the gas so that I could move smoothly in my car on the road. And that just lightened my load. I felt like that was my blanket, of not being aware that I had that capacity to allow myself to have what seems like somebody else helping me.
Mhm.
If that makes any sense. It's not quite clear yet, but it's really feeling like my body is taking on that expansion as well all over as I kind of sit with that. It's getting more and more warm and more reassuring for me as I sit with it.
And so notice where your system changes inside. What is the place that stands out the most as it's receiving that warmth?
That in my heart.
So you're breathing into your heart and you're saying, this gift of this belongs to me. This is being given to me. It's bigger than me and it belongs to me. And you're letting your brain make a map of that and taking time for your body to move it, but primarily letting the brain see and feel how your heart is changing.
It's just radiating out a lot of warmth, and my body is just tingling all over.
Mm-hmm.
All over.
And that belongs to you, and that's the sympathetic edge of the receiving. So that's the beginning of it, and it will integrate and feel like something else. You're noticing the more you slow it down, the more it's going to come into a stable state. And so you're just watching as it moves through its process.
And it's calming down.
Mm-hmm. And when it calms down, then what do you notice? Turn and look in your room and notice what changes in your eyesight, in how your body feels, in your connection to the room.
There's just a sense of being at ease with what is right here. I'm just noticing different things, and I'm not seeking for anything. I don't need anything. It's just it feels like it's settled. I guess that would be the word, what I'm feeling like at the moment.
Mm-hmm. So we have this capacity for greater connection and contentment and settled that is the result of me receiving and embodying and integrating the aliveness the Holy Spirit gives me as a gift. So that aliveness is first going to envelop whatever it is that I am whatever suffering, whatever thing I'm disconnected from. And there's a lot of energy with that in the beginning, and you feel it all over the whole body, and it feels great. The brain will like to leave that. Oh, that's great. It's awesome. I'm doing great. Because that's what our brain is like, whatever. Now it's awesome. Now it's positive. Now I don't have to worry about it. But what happens is we jump off too fast because we want to take it through the integration into this is what I am becoming. I'm becoming content in Christ. I'm becoming settled. I'm becoming more clear. So if I'm a filament, like in a light bulb, my light bulb is able to shine very brightly, but it does not take me out of myself at all. It does not move me towards somebody else trying to perform that I'm there. It does not, like, nothing. I'm able to be very much here, and I have the aliveness to take in the next thing that's broken, the next thing that is challenged, because it comes into this embodied safety, into this embodied clarity and capacity. And I don't need anything from anything, and I'm not trying to run away from anything. I'm able to be right in my system, and I have the aliveness that allows me to be there. And so as we're getting the feelings of the goodness and all of that, again, this is our biggest blind spot, that we don't take it into the parasympathetic response of that. I need to get it to go through the parasympathetic integration so that part of me becomes me, and that makes the next challenge way easier to move into relationship with. And you start to create a momentum. It's why we have the repetition of the practices in the multiple times a day that we're coming to the practices, because each time we're doing this, we are taking it further into integration, which gives us momentum and ease and grace, so that we're more and more carried. And then that carried feels unfamiliar, we're going to jump off. But the more that we slow it down, and the more that we're able to take it into an integration, whether it feels like something we want to judge as bad or hard or whatever, or it feels like something we want to judge as really good or whatever, both of those things need to be taken through back into that stable state of contentment and rest and care. And again, it's why he's saying, don't eat of the tree of the knowledge of the fruit of good and evil, because you don't know. Both of them are actually very important. What you perceive is very important, but neither of them are done until you move into relationship with them through Christ. Christ is going to show you how to take it in and give you what you need in your body to make it become a part of how it makes you whole. Both are needed, and that is not what our world shows us. But you can sit in this practice for 1 hour and you are changed by it. You are different now than when you started this morning, and we don't have to show up perfect. We're just showing up. As soon as we sit down and do this and plug into it, our body and our nervous system begins to change immediately. Our brain can work on something like this, trying to get to a state of peace for 60 years and never get there. You know, because the brain thinks I'm going towards trying to find something that's good. So notice in yourselves, there's going to be some aspect of contentment. There's going to be some aspect of being settled or more clear that is alive in your system right now, that is new compared to when we started this morning. See if you guys can feel what part was able to settle, what part was able to rest in. Okay. So whatever you feel and how your system was able to settle, you're going to bring that to whatever exercises you're doing as you move into your action for this interval. And then we will come back at the 7 o'clock hour back in our overflow practice for another interval. I look forward to seeing you guys here shortly. Take care.